my sister's girl. There.
Let's go over the table.
Okay. I can show you pictures. It's coming out your ears. Oh, you want it there?
Yeah, I'll have you sit right there.
That's, there's Betty Cruz, and she lives in Winnipeg. And this is Claire and Dorothy. They're in Manitoba, and that's his mother.
Claire and Dorothy,
They're in Pot Mound, and they're the ones that, I have a picture of their house too. And this is Robbie Cruz that was out with his wife last, it was last summer. And we were partying
that's
over.
your brother?
No, that's,
Doug's brother.
that's Doug's nephew.
Okay.
And we got partying over at Jackson. I was sick for about 4 days.
Not too much to drink.
Oh, did I ever? I really went over the deep end.
Who's this? In uniform.
That's this fella here. That's when he went into the army. And I felt bad when he was my favorite nephew, that guy. And I felt badly when he was sent away. But anyway, there's Doug's mother right there. Oh, and there she is. With, that's one of the,
Must
one,
be grandchild there, right?
yeah, right. And
Is this dad?
that's my dad.
That's your dad?
Yeah.
Where's this picture right here?
That's, the dam. That's just below Cruz's farm. Their house was up here, and we just had to go down a little ways, and the creek was right down there. I don't know if there's anything written on the back or not. No. That was the big mistake.
What was a big mistake?
That we didn't
Oh.
write on the back of some of these, because, when we're finished with them, why, nobody's going to know anything of who they are. That's Claire again. And there's Marjorie. And I forget who those are.
This is the whole family here, eh? That's you, Grandpa, and Jack, and Mom, and who's in the background? Is that his mom?
That's Grandma Cruz, yeah. But Jack thought she was just great.
Who's the guy on the motorbike?
That's Roberts. A brother to Jack Roberts. That'd be Don Roberts' uncle. And he lives in Pot Mound now. But he was sent to, I think it was Italy.
Really? Yeah, in the war.
Yeah.
Boy, these two are decked out pretty good, eh?
That's Bob and Wilma Cruz. That's Doug's brother.
Right.
And that's his wife.
They sure look like they're dressed in high fashion at the time, eh?
Yeah. She thought she was something. And nobody actually really liked her too much. And she was as bossy as all get out, and she didn't treat Bob very well.
Was her name Peachy Jim?
That's cute. What's that say?
From the school steps. Duo.
Oh, that's up in Dauphin. Dauphin, Swan River,
Okay.
where Don and Gladys live, but Don and Gladys aren't here right now.
This is Mom here on the horse?
Yes, it is.
And there she is here with the snowshoes, eh?
Yeah, I imagine.
Who are these people up here who got married? This is, okay, same.
That's Cam Geddes.
Right.
And there's Claire. And these two are sisters. But Cam did not marry her. There's Claire and Dorothy again. Here's Alan and Dorothy. Wilson, their wedding.
I was gonna say they look a lot like. No, that's Jackie and Greg, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think
It
so.
can't be.
Looks like them. No, I guess.
Oh, I think you're right. I really think you're right.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see the faces though in that picture. Who are these two youngsters?
That's Jack. That was when we
Yeah,
were.
I can see his face.
Yeah. And that's a guy he met on the Charlie Brody. We met on the train, and they became quite good
On the
pals.
train, is that when you came across?
Yeah. From Kelowna out here,
This must be down in Kelowna somewhere, or is that
I
in
would think
Alberta?
so. Or at Jasper maybe. And there's my brother owned that in Swan River, and he had his name up there, Johansson's.
Okay, that was just a general store of some kind.
No, that was a garage front. He ran a garage.
Well, what's this red and white food store? Well, that's just next door, I guess.
It must have been. He must have owned that whole thing, and then they set up in there, something like that. And there's my brother's adopted children. They adopted two.
What happened to their parents? They just.
They both died. He's the golfer, and he used to go down to Texas.
Right.
And after she passed away, I think she went down with him too for the odd time, but he'd take his trailer down there, and and he passed away down there, and he used to smoke a cigar, and I guess he must have had a heart attack in the trailer, and the people passing by
Right.
saw smoke coming out the window, and here he was, the trailer was on fire, so I don't know if he got burnt or what. We never heard too much about that.
This is your family here, is it?
Yes, there's Dad and Mom and Donnie, I guess, is the youngest one here. Donnie and that's Smeal.
Who's Smeal? Is his name?
Yeah, that was his name, and he passed away with black diphtheria.
Smeal, that's a Dutch or Danish name?
It'd be a Danish name. And this is Bob, Uncle Bob, and that's Paul, and that's Manny. So that's their history. There's Claire again. I got a lot of pictures of him. This is Jack when we were up in the Joe Rich area.
Where's the Joe Rich area? Is that in?
Just out of Kelowna, 1,100 feet above Kelowna, up in the hills, and I was teaching that school up there. And Doug and Jack, they were into the logging, and they used to cut the trees with the crosscut,
Right.
that big long thing. And Doug thought that he had lost it, but he found it out here in the, I don't know if it's the original one they used down there, but it's one like it. He found it down in the old woodshed, so he was happy about that.
Where's this old place here?
That's where we lived when we were in Joe Rich.
Mom told me about how she used to go fishing all the time.
Yeah, here's the Mission Creek right here, and that thing flooded this year. They were really in dire straits up there. There's Donnie, Manny, Eddie, and Mary. I looked at that picture in the first place when it was sent to me, and I said, I don't know any of those people. But anyway, when you look at it
Close
closer,
enough, you see the
yeah,
resemblance.
that's right. There's my school. A lot of the kids, no, maybe that's just the Fro family. I had some of those kids in the school up there. Here's the Cruz children. There's, let's see, that must be Doug, Cliff, Bob, Edie, and Marjorie.
I'm sure all dressed in Sunday best, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Their names aren't on the back either. I should write on the back of that. And that is the regatta there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Must be somewhere in Kelowna. Looks like that anyway. Yeah, Kelowna.
Yeah.
What's it say? Kelowna Aquatic Club. So that's the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Okay. And that'll be cool. And there's Eddie, my brother Eddie. That's him right back there. He married Frances. She was a nice looking girl. And they adopted this girl, and that's her wedding picture. And she was working in 100 Mile,
Mm-hmm.
and they lived near Lac La Hache. But she was coming out onto the highway, and I guess she got sideswiped, and she was killed there.
Why don't you pull up the chair?
But Frances, she had the most beautiful red hair. It was just gorgeous. I just loved it.
I see you have a lot of pictures of weddings here. Did you get back to Manitoba to attend most of your sister and brother's weddings, or did they just send pictures?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
were you out there at that time when they were getting married?
Yes, I was at it. I was at Lily's wedding. I wasn't at Mary's wedding. She was married in Winnipeg. And, no, actually, I didn't attend too many of them.
It was too far to go, I guess, to travel.
Well, yeah, that's true. Or else you didn't have the clothes to wear. We were in dire straits, I'm telling you.
You were right.
There's the when I was teaching in Reed Lake, and that was the car we drove.
What kind of car is that?
That was
Is that a Model T or something?
I think so, yeah. There's Lee and I on the bridge going to Isle Pierre.
Oh, you're looking pretty good there.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
No, you got pretty nice clothes there. It looks like a nice jacket. You know?
Well, when you're a teacher,
Yeah.
you should have. And that's some of the pupils I had at Reed Lake when I was teaching. That's some of the kids there. That's us, and that's still Reed Lake. And that's when we were out boating on Ness Lake, just out of Prince George.
Right.
That was a nice lake.
This is
Yeah,
Mom and Jack in Crampton.
right. And now we're at Aliza Lake, and that's where we lived at Aliza Lake, and I was teaching a school there. And that's some of the people from around there. That's some pictures that was given to us. That looks like a combine, doesn't it? It says something there.
Straight combining the coat flax on Jones's Quarter, 1950.
Oh, that Claire most likely sent that then, because he had the flax crop on that place where we used to live. I got some pictures of that old house too. There's Jack. I get a kick out of that picture. They were a pair of little hellions, those two.
Were they?
Yeah. And you know, there was a box of...
Can you ever see his face there? Right? You see the resemblance. It hasn't changed much.
No, but there was a box of shingles all piled neatly in a box. And these two kids got there. And they were throwing these shingles out as fast as they could throw them. And my brother Bob came across the yard and he was trying to sneak up on them and give them whatever. And they saw him coming. And they took off as fast as they could go. Well, no way could he catch up to them. So
They got in trouble though probably when he came back.
he couldn't help it laughing because those shingles were sure flying. But then one day they got into a grease pail in the barn.
Right?
There was quite you can see the size of the barn.
That's
Well, they went along, they took this grease with a stick. I don't know how they did it, but they got it on their clothes too. And they went along and they put grease on everything, the door handles and along where they feed in the manger, along the mangers
right.
in the barn, and there was grease all over there. Oh, my brother was mad. Boy, oh boy. So then when they got back up to the house, when I found out what they were doing and saw their clothes, boy, I gave them whatever. And I had to bath them and change their clothes. It was in the morning. I had just put them out clean. That's
Their little
frustrating.
This is Wells, eh?
Yes.
Sure looking a lot different then. It looks like a new town. It's not run down. It must be the old Jack of Clubs there, or do you
I
remember
think so.
Wells Hotel?
And there's the old cafe.
The old cafe. How are we looking? The creek must be in the background, eh?
Yeah.
You're right where the general store is, I guess.
We're on, let's see. The general store was built. It was sitting there on the far side of a log. And then it had gas pumps out in front. But we must have been kind of to the side.
'Cause this must be the Highway 97 side now, right?
Canyon Creek, BC. Oh, that's the old cafe in the background now. And that's that Pandozzi that used to run on the Okanagan Lake.
Right?
And they loaded the boats on, or boats, they loaded the cars on there and took them across the lake, and that was the only way you could get across there till that floating bridge was built. Boy, that was a great asset to Kelowna.
And they had the bridge built.
Yeah. There's your mom. And there is a big puffball. You see that?
Oh, you got the puffball?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You see
48
that?
pumps.
They moved the puffball
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, they took it.
That's too bad. Look at it.
It was growing like mad, that one over there, too.
Is that ever huge?
But this was found somewhere out in the bush, wasn't it?
Eh? It's over on that property area Dad has over there.
Was it?
Yeah,
But those kids could hardly carry it.
there was another one, another picture of it, and we had it up on a post in front of the old cafe somewhere.
Where's this? Which town is this?
That's Prince George.
Oh, wow. This is Mom and who?
Oh, Ann Mann. She used to work for us in the cafe.
This is down by probably Canyon Creek.
I would think so.
Is this part of the cafe here?
Yeah. She's right in front of the door. There's a bunch of the surveyors.
Come through.
Yeah. That were on the, I guess it was PG. Or VCR now.
Looks like quite a bunch.
Here's Doug here. He was out on the survey gang too.
Could be Jack right here. Is that it?
No, that's Al Wimble. There's Jim Kenyon. And he was out crossing some creek in a boat.
Mhm.
And they had a rope tied to it. And when he got out in the middle, the current caught the boat and
Flips it over.
yeah, and he couldn't swim, so he was drowned. But he was a nice guy. And there's Sven Carlson. They were talking about Sven Carlson here. Sven. Bill